Hey everyone, it's Jack here, TalkNorwichCity. I hope you're all doing very well indeed. Preston North End, the opponents for David Wagner's first league game in charge at Norwich City. We'll be taking a look at that in a moment. But a few really intriguing comments from David Wagner that reveals transfer dealings and probably how we're going to play this weekend in his press conference today. I think it was notable that Michael Bailey said that it was over double the length of the average Dean Smith presser. So plenty to say from David Wagner and some really good nuggets in there. A big thanks to BetMate, as always, for sponsoring these preview videos this season. A really exciting weekend for BetMate. They're doing a free pot for the Norwich versus Preston game. That means it's completely free entry and there's a guaranteed £50 payout. This is exclusive to TNC viewers. The code is on the screen now. Simply enter code PNETNC. You'll be taken there. You then pick your 7-a-side team for the Preston versus Norwich game. You can see myself and Chris is on screen now. Go up against us two and also your fellow TNC viewers for a chance to win 50 quid. BetMate's brilliant. The reason I love it is because unlike normal fantasy football, you get points for stuff like interceptions, tackles. So even if a defender were to concede or a striker were to go without a goal, you've still got chances of picking up a decent number of points. I've loved it this season and I hope you do too. The link to download the app is in the description. The code is PNETNC. I'll see you over there. I think we all probably knew it, but it was confirmed today that Todd Cantwell's future doesn't lie at Norwich City. David Wagner confirmed that he has been speaking to other clubs and that he's not in the plans going forwards. It's a real shame. Like, you guys know that I like Todd Cantwell. I suspect the majority of Norwich fans will feel a tinge of disappointment that it hasn't worked for Todd at Norwich City. We had a season and a bit of pure brilliance at times. He scored against Chelsea, Manchester City, Arsenal, scored some important goals in the Premier League and at one point was valued at £20 million plus. This is a player who burst onto the scene. I think a lot of people thought was going to be England's next big attacking midfielder and it just hasn't quite happened over the last couple of seasons through various reasons, I suspect, partly down to Todd and partly down to other people, I think. But it's fair to say that I think Michael Beale's comments surrounding that he needs to reignite his career is probably a fair assessment, and his career won't be reignited with Norwich City. It will be elsewhere, and I suspect Rangers probably the favourites at the moment to sign him. So best of luck to Todd wherever he goes. It's been an absolute pleasure watching him in a Norwich City shirt, but I think myself and many others will feel slightly disappointed that the career didn't take off with the Canaries. Christos Jolis won't be returning from his loan deal, nor will Milo Rashica. We probably both expected that. I think some were hoping that Christos Jolis may well return. There isn't the option to bring him back from FC Twente. The interesting one is with Bali Mumba now. He's been having a brilliant season with Plymouth, who are flying in League One, top of the table at the moment, above Ipswich Town. They play each other this weekend, so keep an eye on that one. David Wagner said there is the option to bring back Bali, but it's all about whether they can guarantee him minutes. I suspect for both parties, keeping him at Plymouth is probably the best option. He's loving life there. He's doing very well. He's top of League One and guaranteed game time. I just don't see him getting into the Norwich team unless there's an injury to Max Aarons or Dimianulis, which I can't see because you've also got Sam McCallum and Sam Byram who's going to be returning soon as well. So I think for Bally, his future probably lies with Plymouth for the rest of this season, but a very exciting player on our hands there. Preston, the opponents this weekend, they beat us at Carrow Road and was probably the start of the downfall for Dean Smith at Norwich City. Remember that one? Preston had basically either drawn 0-0, won 1-0 or lost 1-0 every game up until that point. And then they rocked up at Carrow Road and won that game 3-2. It was archetypal of Norwich City's downfalls this season. But we travel there under a new manager and with a bit of fire in our belly, I think. This is going to be fascinating for David Wagner. I think most people allowed him a bit of a free hit against Blackburn in the FA Cup. I don't think too many people were that disappointed that we exited that competition. And there were moments in that game that you thought, okay, we're up to something here. 24 shots, 20 corners, 10 of those on target, expected goals of 2.5. You should really be walking away with those types of numbers with a win. I know that football isn't played with stats, it's played on the pitch, but if you keep putting up those types of performances, then you will start to win more games than you lose. Preston are without a few of their notable players. I think they're looking to make some loan signings in January. And haven't been in the best form of recent weeks, and their home form all season has been a bit sketchy. This is a really good opportunity for David Wagner, not only to put down a performance, but to show Norwich fans that we're still within a fight of playoffs this season. Yes, the distance has grown slightly over the last month, but there's talent in this squad. And this is a big game for David Wagner, because if Norwich do want to get into the playoffs this season, you expect that we'll need a run or a good few wins in a row over the next month or two. And hopefully that starts here. It looks as if he'll go with Sargent through the middle. That's what he's been talking up for the rest of this week. I expect Kenny McLean to start in the middle of the pitch. He sounds like he's a big fan of Kenny. So it'll be interesting to see how he kind of shapes up this team. I think he'll go with 2 up top with Pukki and Sargent. That will mean that Adam Ida's probably going to be dropped. But who knows? It's going to be fascinating. I'm really excited for this one, because I think this will set the tone for the rest of the season. Norwich need wins and Norwich need performances, and they need it quickly if there's any chance of promotion this season. Yes, it looks like an outside chance, but hopefully you never know what's around the corner. We've done it before under Alex Neil. Can we do it again under David Wagner? I'm really looking forward to it. Let me know your score predictions down in the comments below, and hopefully we can pick up all 3 points. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye.